What's up, guys? Um, Welcome back to PNL Live, where I am documenting my day trading journey. I just wanted to touch in here really fast because I just got into a trade, and a lot of this channel is about holding myself accountable for all of this. So I didn't want to jump into something without actually documenting it first. And by the way, none of this is financial advice. It's strictly for educational and informational and entertainmental purposes only. So yeah, this is the trade I just got into. I just wanted to jot it down just for the record. I just got into a long position, and of course, if you don't know, this is futures trading I'm talking about here. Um, and it's by the way, full disclosure too, by the way, this is a demo account, paper trading account. Part of this channel is we're going to turn a $2,000 demo account into 10,000, and then we're going to do it with real money. So the trade that I just got into was with XRP, and so far XRP has been my my best my best trades have been in XRP. It's got a really strong chart. It's really resilient, um, and it fluctuates quite a bit. So you can make the P&L is fairly reasonable if you set your profits and your stop losses correctly. It's a pretty reasonable trade. At least it has been for me. So I'm going to show you guys. If you look there at the top, the reason why I got into this trade is because I saw this earlier. I thought it was going to hit this previous support slash resistance here at about 218. And I knew it was going to, and I didn't get into it. And of course, it exactly hit my the resistance. And then it started consolidating, and then it tapped it again, and then it started making higher lows and just tapping off of it every single time. So I got into it. Um, as soon as I saw it was about down here at like 218, right before it broke through. I knew it was going to, just because as soon as something hits the resistance over and over and over again on the underside of the resistance, and it keeps making higher lows. From my experience, I mean, I don't know how true this is, but from my experience, it always breaks through. It always seems to break through. Let me know in the comments if you guys think otherwise. And but this is the reason why I got into the trade at about here at like 218. Um, so right now we've been up, ranging from, I don't know, $10. As soon as I got into the trade, we've been ranging from like $10 to like $25. But I'm leveraging 50x right now, which is higher than what I normally do. But I'm fairly confident about this trade. It's a $10,000 contract, which means at 50x I'm risking $500. If you don't know how leverage trading works. I still got to set my take profits and my stop loss, because I'm probably going to let this go overnight. It's not just going to be a quick scalp. Um, I'm going to have this run overnight, and this is kind of a similar thing that happened on the last XRP trade I did. It seems to make a lot of movement in the middle of the night. I got to figure out what hours this corresponds with, but in U.S. time, it always seems to really make big movements in the middle of the night. And then when the morning comes, it either ends up selling off or it makes even bigger movements. So I'm going to get up early and keep an eye on this, but I'm still going to set my stop losses. But what I'm projecting is to probably go to, if we look on the daily chart here, um, probably going back to maybe not this other resistance here, this other resistance zone, um, but probably up to Let's see. Thinking. Where are my other... I'm thinking probably up 10 cents. I'm thinking it'll probably end up going to 230-ish. Because this seems to be another resistance in between this greater resistance here. Let's see here. Where's my horizontal ray? Okay, here we go. So I'm thinking it'll probably get somewhere up here. Yeah, about 230, something like that, before it consolidates. And this is probably where I'm going to end up taking profits at. We'll see if it ends up... I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm going to try to get up early. We'll see if it ends up coming up to like 225, 223. It might be a take profit zone right here. And then I'll probably take, 50% profit somewhere around here. And then I'll let it ride and see how far it goes up. It might end up cracking through that that next resistance up here at 230. I don't see that happening, but it very well could, because before this flash crash happened, with the Middle Eastern conflict, it was consolidating pretty good in this region here. It was bouncing back and forth between about 220 and about 250-ish. It was bouncing back and forth pretty good. So we might see it jump back up. I'm going to keep an eye on the RSI, and keep an eye on some indicators and see. But so we'll see how it goes. I just wanted to tap in here really fast and let you guys know about this trade that I was getting into. And once again, not financial advice. So do your own research, but I try to hold myself accountable with this. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Let me know if this was a good play or not. Let me know if you guys think it's just gonna crash back down to this other region, if to the $2 zone. But there is a huge buy wall here. If you look at the order book, there's a huge buy wall everywhere from. I mean, you could see the bottom of these candles here. If you look at the bottom of these candles, it's really long wicks down here at the 210 zone, between $2 and 210. There's a huge buy wall. We've of course dipped below that since the election, when this thing went up about 5x, 6x, something like that. We have dipped below that. We went down to like XRP went down to like 170 or so, but it was just for about 10 minutes. This wick right here, most of this wick was for about 10 minutes. And then it kind of, for the most part, the lowest we went down was where I have this support at right here. And I drew all this up before all of this happened, so I've had these charts mapped out for a while. So it bounced. It's like I said, XRP is really resilient. I really didn't want XRP to be like my top scalping slash swing trading prospect, but it seems like it always gives the best signals. It always has really good volume, really good trading volume. It's got a really strong buy walls, and it fluctuates quite a bit in between this, to where there's a good enough range to where if you leverage it, you can make you could still make quite a bit. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. So we'll probably end up flashing back and forth between this. I don't see it just being like a straight ride, at least for the next hour or two. And then probably in the middle of the night, it'll probably just keep jumping. So we'll see how it goes. So far we're at 219. So far we're up. So, man, I hate that every single time that I refresh BTCC, it always ends up taking off my, let's see, I'm just going to throw a take profit zone in here just so it'll show me my, it'll indicate where I'm at. Yeah, so far we're up 40 bucks. Just since I've started this stream, I've already went from $10 to about $40. And we got really strong, I got some really strong green candles here. I use Heikinashis just because I like them. They show you the average. Which, I mean, they have their place. Regular candles also have their place for getting into entries and stuff. But it's just a lot. Heikinashis are just a lot cleaner, a lot less noise. So I like using them. So yeah, where did I set this at? 218.7. So let's see. Let's go back on TradingView and see where I set this at. 218.7. So I put in my order. Wow, on the 5-minute chart, the thing is just busting through. So I put in my order actually down here, but with the percentages, because BTCC takes a percentage and they just tack it on immediately. It got me in somewhere around here, just below, which is fine. I'm okay with that. If you guys are interested in trading and doing some futures trading, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description. You guys can get in and start up a paper trading account, a demo trading. I keep calling it paper trading account just because of that's what it's called on other platforms. But you can start a demo trading account and play around with it with me. If you're used to futures trading, then I would say, have fun with it. Let me know in the comments what your secrets are, because I am by no means a pro at this. I wouldn't even call myself a trader right now until I get until this demo account turns into a real account. I really wouldn't even call myself a trader right now. I'm just I'm still a student right now. But this thing's starting to look pretty good. I mean, we're in it right now. And it's just going. 45 bucks. We're up 45 right now. And I'm kind of curious to see where my take profit's at $1,000. Let's see where that's even at. Let's see, 241. So if I can crack 241, I'm at 1,000. But if I can crack a recent high, I'll be at 682. So that'll be good. That'll be a good day. Which I think that's where I'm gonna set my which is at 233 price point. Let's see where that's looking at. At 233. Let's see on the daily chart here. Yeah, which that's right around where I was thinking, 230. So it's probably where I'm going to take half profits at. So I'll probably get out and let it keep riding. I think after it hits this, it might hit this other support or this other resistance here at 223. I might, before I go to sleep, I might have another take profit right there. Or depending on how long it takes, I might just let's change these candles to regular candles. Depending on how long it takes, I might. No, it's not going to go that fast. Yeah, before I go to sleep, I'm going to set another take profit zone and probably take 30% Probably take 30% at 225, 225-ish. Probably take 30%. And then I'll take another 30%. I'll set another zone, another 30% at 233. And then we'll kind of just see where it's at from there. And then I'll just keep the rest of the contract open, I think. Because at that point, I'll already be up. I think if my math is correct, I'll already be up a few $100. So, and that'll basically be my what I'm nearly what I'm risking. If I can be completely in the green, I would like to keep this contract open because as you can see, as soon as it seems like every single time XRP dips too low, it just has these huge candles back to the upside every single time. It gets too low, it's just there's just a buy wall and people just go crazy for it every single time. As you can see, just these huge candles. There's just so much there's so much volume in this one. That's why I'm gonna keep this one open, I think, and just ride this one up because I caught the perfect wave right there, right as soon as it was about to break through the resistance. As you guys can see here, I mean it's did great. It just chopped sideways, higher lows, hit the, and I could have, and honestly, this I could have gotten in on this ride because I saw this green candle, but there just wasn't a good entry. There just really wasn't a good entry. That's why I really didn't want to get in. I knew just because of the past. See, I mean, this could have been a good indicator. Honestly, this doji candle right here could have been a good sign, and I could have taken this ride right here and got out and just waited till it chopped sideways and saw if it was going to actually make higher lows, which it did, and then got in again. But yeah, and they say that you should only futures trade one, what do you want to call it? Not one sector. Some people just strictly futures trade gold. Some people just strictly futures trade the S&P. Some people just strictly futures trade the Forex market between very specific currencies. And I really wasn't planning on XRP being that for me, but it just seems like all of my really good plays, I just know this chart really, really well. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one. I'm still trying to find screeners, really good screeners. Right now I'm doing some research and trying to create a screener with just perfect parameters that'll give me every single thing I'm looking for. Like if like something like this, I could probably figure out a way to set up a screener to find these setups. It's just a matter of knowing exactly what to call this in terms of how a computer will understand it. And then so yeah, and honestly, this has always been since and that's the thing is that's why I love doing this is because I always end up learning from this because I tried shorting this one time. I was like because I'm on the demo account, I'm like I'm gonna the same setup. I tried shorting it one time, and I was like well, it's hitting it, so it obviously doesn't want to go blast through this. So clearly it must go to the downside. If it doesn't want to break through the resistance, it's probably going to want to just go to the downside. It's probably a bearish signal. And then it blasted through the top. And then immediately after that, I was like, well, I guess that's the opposite of what it wants to do. And likewise, I found out that if it's bounces along the top, if it goes through a resistance and it bounces along a support, or if it comes down to a support and it bounces along the bottom of the support and it does the same thing, lower highs, it's going to blast through the bottom of that support. So the same setup that you're seeing right here, I've learned that if it's the flip side and it's coming down and it starts bouncing off the support, just like it went up and it's bouncing off the resistance, it generally will fall through if it doesn't get some momentum. So just wanted to come on here really fast and kind of explain it. I really didn't want to take too much time, and and get too into the weeds with this whole situation, but yeah. Yeah, I hate how every single time BTCC always, every single time I switch between windows, or every single time I uh, switch between charts on BTCC, it always takes off my indicators, because I would like to be able to constantly see what my profit and loss is, what my P&L is here on P&L Live. But let's see here. I don't even want to mess with it because let's see here. I'm 33%. Oh, I'm up $67. Okay, I could see it right here. Up 67 bucks. So just since I've been on this live, I went from being $10 in the green to being $65 in the green. So, and that's because the 50x leverage, but 50x is dangerously high, and that's why I really don't like messing with 50x. I normally generally stick to like 20x leverage with the $10,000 contract, which is risking $500. And it really depends on what I'm trading, because there's some things you could do 20x and your 1-to-1 ratio or 1-to-2 ratio is only going to make you about $8. And then yeah, it's up 76 bucks right now. So we are just blasting off. I don't even want to get off the stream. I feel like if I get off the stream, it's just going to go through the floor. I don't even want to. But yeah, so a big thing that I'm trying to figure out too is trying to figure out how I can find these setups to where I'm not just doing 1-to-2 ratios. One loss to, a 1-to-2 ratio is basically risking 1 to make 2. So I'm trying to figure out how I can do these 1-to-2 ratios and not only try to shoot for the moon just to make 10 bucks, because it's really hard, because sometimes you'll have 3% of one stock or one crypto is quite a bit higher than 3% of another at a lower price. So that has something to do with it, and also trying to find those high percentages. But yeah, this is all kind of stuff I'm still trying to figure out. And the RSI has kind of been really tricky too. I'm really trying to master the RSI, because there's a lot of times when just because something's overbought, it doesn't necessarily mean it's just going to start consolidating. Something can just keep on being overbought over and over and over again and just never really go down. So I don't know how far up this is. We'll see. But there's really no other the reason otherwise, because a lot of times I've been hesitant about taking profits early instead of just letting the runners run. This is probably going to be the first time I'm actually just going to let the runners run here, because there's not really another, because of this flash crash that happened because of the conflict in the Middle East. It kind of just had this drastic drop. It's been on a steady uptrend since then, and there's not really, it's starting to face a little bit of resistance right here again at 220, which is another resistance zone. So let's see here. Let's see what other kind of resistance we got here. Oh, hey, is that my... Did I get my MACD back here? Oh, wow, I thought that... I didn't think I had my MACD anymore. Yeah, because this is just a free account, guys. I just literally have a free account with just some basic indicators on here, and then I mainly just use the RSI on BTCC. But where it's at right now is 220. It looks to be another Looks to be another resistance zone here. Yeah, see, because that's the thing that I like about this particular digital asset is that it's excuse me, it doesn't like to follow. It does not like to follow the does not like to follow. This can be a good thing or a bad thing, but it doesn't like to just trend along the VWAP or just trend sideways along exponential moving average. It really likes to get away from it pretty good before it comes back around. It really does. So this right here, it very well could consolidate too, but I'm still confident in just letting this puppy ride overnight. As long as I'll probably set my stop loss somewhere because I don't see it coming back down to underneath this. This resistance is now support, and I just don't see it coming too far below this this now support, what used to be the resistance. I really don't. Could be wrong, but that's why this is just a demo account. It's because we're not betting the farm on it. Looks to be like the MACD is maybe starting to reverse, but that's the thing. That's the thing. I don't like to put too much weight in the MACD is because it always ends up. It could seem like it's going to reverse and then just get close and then just separate again, or just one candle can just separate these guys. Can just separate the MACD just really far away, and then it just keeps on going. So I don't really like to get shook out by the MACD. But yeah, we went up pretty fast in a short period of time. Like a lot of people, I'm sure. Tell me if you're one of these people in the comments. A lot of people would let's say, "What are you doing? Get out now. The RSI is about to turn around." But when I like to switch between a lot of these and see what's going on. Like if it's not looking like the RSI is gonna reverse on see on the hourly, RSI is looking like it's wanting to come back around. But look at this Heikin-Ashi candle though. Huge Heikin-Ashi right before. I mean, it's just on a tear. It's just on an uptrend. I mean, it's wanting to stay above this VWAP here. Just steady above it. Now it's above the X. All right, so the white that I have here is the VWAP, and this other color is the exponential moving average. It just wanted to stay above this VWAP here, and now it's just above the exponential moving average. So it looks like it's really trending up, starting to finally catch its wind here. Because since that flash crash with the conflict in the Middle East, it's been below the VWAP, below the exponential moving average. Not really able to break above it, and now it's finally broken above both at the same time. Which I'm starting to learn. A lot of people just have the VWAP or the exponential moving average. I like to have both. I mean, my chart probably looks completely different than yours, but this is just how I have mine. I have my exponential moving average set at 100, and I just have my VWAP set at whatever the VWAP set at. I don't even know. I honestly, some people use them interchangeably, but I kind of like using them together. It looks like on the hour it just looks like it might just be consolidating. We're starting to get a little bit of a bottom wick there. Like there's still some buying pressure. But it looks like the pressure release valve finally burst after the last 20 minutes of just, since I've been on this stream, of just going up. 15 minute, looks like there's some downward pressure. 5 minute even looks like there's some downward pressure. So, but that's the thing, is that since this has just been on, since this is just trending at the top of this RSI, if you look at the bottom on BTCC there, it's just been kind of trending at the top of this RSI. And I put in my buy order right there at the bottom. So this kind of went up, and when it comes down to the middle again like this, we might still be at like 219, but it just keeps bouncing from the middle of this RSI to the top. So the price here is different than the price here, just because it's in the middle of the RSI, the middle of this the RSI here. Or I can't remember what it's called. The RSI line is in the middle of the RSI, or this whole thing is the RSI. It's in the middle. The line is in the middle of the. I don't know, but just because it's coming down to the middle, wherever this lands, very well will be at a higher price than this middle. So just because it comes crashing down, it's not gonna mean that, oh no, all these profits I could have taken advantage of are now going to be gone if it hits this line. It's just going to be at a higher price point each time. So the RSI is really funny about that. That's one thing I did learn, is that trusting it as to being, oh, when to get out and when to get in, it's can't really look at it like that. At least, I don't really necessarily look at it like that, because this will probably come down to the middle of this RSI here. It'll probably, if it cuts down halfway down, it very well, I'll still be at whatever I was before, $20 profit or whatever it was. So let's see where I'm at right now. I'm at $45 profit. So yeah, it's what I think personally. I think it's just consolidating. I was at like $75 profit up here, but I think it's just gonna come down, and then just, you can see with all these other, it just kind of chopped sideways, went higher lows, chopped a little higher lows, kind of was hanging out here right at that resistance, and then broke through it. So I think this is just its way of making higher lows again. But like I said, could be wrong. We will see. So yeah, if I can, cause I had a pretty heavy loss the other day. The day when all of this conflict broke out, I was just wanting to trade. When everything had just taken a dump and was kind of moving sideways, I was just wanting to scalp these little gains. And then I got into this like revenge trading where I was just trying to make it back, and then I ended up losing. The paper trading account went from being up $150 to being down $150. So I've been kind of breaking even on these trades, which is a fairly, in my opinion, it's a fairly good sign. I'm not blowing the account. Just mastering my strategy. So if you guys have any improvements for me, please let me know. I'm all ears, because I would like to know. So, and this is something I want to pay attention to too, is when the VWAP crosses the exponential moving average, what that does to the price. Whenever volumes involved and whatever else. Because I haven't learned that anywhere. A lot of people have either the EMA or the VWAP, and I have both, because I feel like it's just more data without it being too much noise. Some people have all these indicators all over the screen, but I just like to use just RSI, VWAP. I'll check out the MACD, but not put too much weight in the MACD or the momentum. Just kind of paying attention to it. But So yeah, I'll definitely have an update for you guys about which I have in mind a screener that I want to go with, except it costs a pretty penny. Um, and I definitely that's the thing is I haven't decided if I want to go with the TradingView screener or if I want to go with this other screener. So only reason why I haven't committed to buying anything yet, um, and I'm just using free stuff, is because if I'm not making money, I really don't. I mean, it takes money to make money, but honestly, you gotta have, there's before I get a a really good BMX bike, you gotta at least have your training wheels, and have and take off your training wheels first before you go and just blow the farm on a $2,000 BMX bike or something, or spend real any money into your craft. You at least got to have a craft. So as soon as I figure out which screener I'm gonna go with, I'll let you guys know. But I'm in the process of doing and I might not even get too much sleep tonight. Honestly, I might go straight from doing this into straight from this into doing more research on exactly the parameters, because there's just so much whenever you're building a screener. I don't want to just take these buy and sell screeners from TradingView and pay for TradingView just because they have these like free templates. I really want to understand every single aspect of my strategy and really understand exactly why my screener is doing what it's doing, all aspects of it, and be able to tweak it. To me, that just seems like a much more thorough way of having a screener. Is most people don't know much more than, well, it says buy here. This it's giving me a buy signal, I'm gonna buy. It's giving me a sell signal, I'm gonna sell, which very well could be really good. I mean, I'm not saying that screeners don't work, but I really just want a platform that has a good format, that I can tweak it and really understand what I'm doing. So a lot of this is just me talking to AI and just picking the lack of a better word, picking the brain of AI, um, and figuring out exactly why. Okay, what what would make, if I'm looking for this setup, what should I tweak, and just going on and on and on about it. So I'll let you guys know here coming up. It looks like we're starting to get some red candles here, but there's since I have these Heikinashi candles, there's there's pretty good sized bottom wicks, so there's still some buy pressure, and the candles are not very big. So it looks like it's just kind of consolidating, people taking a little bit of profits, probably people jumping out of positions. But I think it should be reversing here shortly. That's not a huge dip at all. And that's what I like about, and that's the thing, is like that's what I like about this particular digital asset, is it always ends up trending in one way or the other. I mean, if you look at it on the daily or even on the weekly, it's chopping sideways. But that movement is in one way or another. It's not tight movement. It's really loose movement fluctuating in one way or the other. So there's definitely some really good opportunity, and that's the thing. It's like I really didn't even choose this to be something that I was really trying to. But I've just gotten to know this chart really well. So it's kind of. But that's the whole thing. Is that with scalping, I want to have the ability to be able to look at any chart, even if it's the first time I ever looked at a chart. I want to be able to look at any chart, immediately in my head point out the resistance, the support, any trends, and just immediately know, okay, this is a good spot. Get in, get out, instead of just being siloed into one sector or one one asset. I feel like I would like to be well balanced. Um, and that's kind of what this screener's going to be about. That's what the screener's realistically going to do. It's just going to give me setups. I'm going to say, hey, look, I want it to be this price. I need this volume. I need this percentage change. I need this relative volume. I should say relative volume, not necessarily volume, but relative volume. Um, and and figure out the other parameters I need. Um, like compared to how many candles, compared to how many days, compared to how many. So this is all kind of stuff I'm learning. But once I have that, I should be able to look at anything and say, okay, this is my setup. Wait for my wait for my buy signal. Wait for my specific candles. Um, and boom. Because right now, all I'm doing is just waking up and getting my day started, and then turning around and just combing through different assets in different markets and being like, oh, this could be a good trade for today. This could be a good trade for the next couple days, but then not setting any reminders, not, you know what I mean? So, um, yeah, see, as I said, this RSI is starting to come back towards the middle, and I'm still at $30 profit. I think it'll probably come back down to the middle here, and I'll still be at $22 before it turns back around. So it's definitely the price when it gets to the middle of this RSI is definitely higher than $20 at this particular 50x leverage $10,000 contract. It's higher than where it was right here by $20. So yeah, these are the regular candles here. You still got a hammer right here, a lot of buy pressure. They're still not sure. So I think that we're going to probably see it coming around. And it's just been floating. Since it crossed over this VWAP and this exponential moving average, it's kind of just been. And this is on the 5-minute chart, by the way, so I shouldn't even be speaking about that. Like it's been doing this, because it's not really been doing that just over the last few hours. But so yeah, ever since it took that huge dump, it's really been wanting to trade at the top of this RSI. Which it wasn't even really a huge dump. It was from, what, 225 down to 210 or something. So a 15-cent dump, which is maybe 6%, something like that. Yeah, something like that, like 6%. So it took like a 6% dump. And then, so if we can get that back, that would be great. On the hourly RSI, on the hourly is a whole different story though, But then again, this is why I like to switch back and forth between charts. Is because as soon as this 15-minute reverses, and as soon as this 5-minute reverses, then all of a sudden the hour and the 30-minute reverses. I mean, it's kind of. I shouldn't even, honestly, technically I really shouldn't be looking. If I plan on letting this ride overnight, I really shouldn't be looking at the 5-minute and the 15-minute chart anyway. I really should be looking at the hourly chart. And from the hourly chart, it just, and that's the thing, it's like all of these different time frames all tell you something different. And that would be the only real reason why I'm even bringing up the 5-minute and the 15-minute, is because as soon as these change consecutively over and over again, and it hits that middle of the RSI and it goes up, and then when it comes back down to the middle, it's at a higher price point and just fluctuates over this. It turns around that hourly. So, which I'm fairly confident that it will, but who knows? I might be wrong. I might have had a chance to make $100 and missed the boat. But I don't know, guys. We're gonna let this ride. How long's this stream been going on for? Um, I can't even really tell how long it's been going on for. Oh yeah, 45 minutes. All right. I think that's I think that's good for today, or at least for tonight, I should say. Let's check out the last time it broke through this. Let's check out the last time it broke through this. Yeah, see? So, how it bounces like that. Double bounce. This would have been a good time for a short right here. This double bounce. Boom, it went up. Tapped it twice. Didn't want to go. That would have been a sweet time for a short right there. Boom, huge candles to the downside. That would have been really sweet. So right now it's facing the same resistance right here that it was. If you could see this line here at 219, this is the resistance that it's facing right here, is the same resistance it faced back over here. And it's faced previously too, but I'm not going to scroll all the way back. I have that set for a reason. So, but we will see, I guess. This is how I'm going to probably wake the stream up tomorrow. As I'll probably wake up tomorrow and update you guys on where this trade went. This little swing trade I got going on here. And that's the thing, is I'm shooting for scalping. I would like to scalp and just get in and out. But it seems like a lot of my best trades seem to be swing trades. It seems like whenever I try scalping, that's when I end up losing my shirt on these trades. So it very well could be that I don't know, I start as a scalper and I end as a swing trader. I don't know. I really didn't want to, but we'll see. It's really going to come down to these screeners. And once I understand these screeners and I understand exactly what I'm looking for, I guess I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But anyway, like and subscribe. Appreciate you guys paying attention. And if you like the content, leave a comment. Let me know what I did wrong. Let me know what I could have done better. Let me know what I did right. Let me know what, leave an emoji. I don't care. Do whatever. Just, it all helps out the algorithms. So, and, yeah, I'll leave, some links in the description for BTCC if you guys want to get joined up and join along the fun in my day trading adventure. But once again, none of this, nothing that you hear, see, smell from this channel is financial advice. This is all just for educational, informational, and entertainmental purposes only. So I will catch up with you guys tomorrow.